Oh yeah, baby. Guess what? Yeah, I'm at this one site called Calm Bravo in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, up here in Canada. Yeah, where it's always freezing. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go to this year as well. At least I'm gonna try to. You not only get like video game vendors and a bunch of anime cosplayers and all that, but you also get some celebrities, and that's cool. So not only will you get a whole bunch of that guy with the glasses people down there, you'll also be getting the 15-time TurboGrafx 16 World Champion Ryan Janelle down there as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm not no big celebrity or nothing, but I should be on this page too. Advertise me. What makes Calm Bravo so awesome? I'll show cool Spoony one actual panel that he did. I'd like to thank him again for signing this game for me. Yeah. Yeah. I always love showing that off. The whole 40-minute plus panel, it was awesome. He went on this huge tirade about how franchises are getting stale and getting complacent and getting, I don't know, just so plain over the years. See, he's much better at public speaking than I am. And yeah, let's roll the footage. And yeah, if anybody out there wants to, I don't know, Spoony1 wants to take down the video, because, no, that's okay. Drop me an email or something, I'll take it down. The thing is that I actually saw Angry Joe actually filming it and all that, and I don't know if he's going to like use it for something else, or he just wants to keep it as like a personal video. But hey, if not, let's get you all hyped up for Calm Bravo, because this was an awesome panel. Yo, just to get you all excited. Okay, let's roll. Yeah.
Actually, Doug, do you have your camera on you?
Earlier, I'm not even hungry.
Do you have your camera on you, Joe? Yeah. Can you shoot something for me? There's something I want to drop into a review later on, and I just realized this is a good time to do it. I have no idea when I'm going to put this in, but I want a moment where where I'm in front of a crowd and the convention just boos the crap out of me, which will probably happen naturally. But if you guys wouldn't terribly mind, I'm going to have Joe stand behind me and kind of get a crowd shot, and I'm just going to say something innocuous, and then I want you to just like savagely boo me, and if you have anything relatively non-lethal, try to help me with it.
Can we throw Timbits?
You can throw Timbits, but you got to pick them up. Well, the thing is, he won't know that it's Timbits, but don't get my mouth, because I might change something. I might change the line. So don't know what to face. Okay, we're all full up now. Great.
Yeah.
I can't believe that SWAT thing has caught on. It's the bane of my existence now. There was this asshole at Borders. I went to a Borders bookstore, and he walks up behind me. He recognized me. He goes, "You're in my way, sir." And I'm like, "Woo! Do you not realize I will elbow check you for that?"
You might have a flash grenade, man.
You ready, Joe? Okay. So I'm going to say something, and then when I do that, just boo, and like whatever, okay? So, not now. When I'm done saying my line. Okay, ready? Okay, so here we go. You know what? Pokemon is for babies.
Pikachu is a hero.
Save the Timbits!
I'm gonna wear this hat. You threw it, it's mine now. Wherever you find Canadians are from.
You should send that to them.
What?
Do you think they're worrying outside now?
Worried? Oh. Okay, that's
Don't just off.
You dirty best. See how you like it. I know, right? Yeah. I want whoever. Look for the barefooted person.
Hunt them down.
Where are you at? All right, all right. All right, welcome everyone to my panel where I just know you'll hate it. No, this is if you've ever watched my convention coverage of E3, I'm usually pretty hard on Nintendo and a lot of other game series because if you know me, I'm very about innovation, changing. I actually don't like sequels all that much because
No Mary Nazi.
Yahtzee, yeah. The thing is, I hate sequels that don't change anything. It's the same game over and over and over and over again. I don't like playing full price for a game that I've already played before. So, probably the most notorious game that I am somewhat infamous for hating is The Legend of Zelda. And the swords come out. Look. I never had a problem with Legend of Zelda per se. I love the game, in fact. It's a great game. It's very, very well designed. And the problem is, they stopped making new Zeldas when they had Ocarina of Time on the N64. Since then, you could argue that there's been some slight changes, but the emphasis is on slight. Meaning, actually, let me get my phone. I got my notes on my phone. 1 second. I had to write down all the stuff I hated.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, this is a 16 gigabyte memory card. I got it. Oh yeah. So Legend of Zelda, I've always said it never really changed all that much. I mean, graphic updates, you know, Wind Waker had different types of graphics, but really fundamentally it was always the same type of puzzles, same type of weapons. Same. And I went to E3 and I was really railing on the fact that when the 3DS was launched, one of the launch titles was Ocarina of Time. Again? Again. Really, I mean, that game has been re-released like 5-6 times. How many times do you want to buy this game? Why didn't you demand something new from Zelda? And I get a lot of hate for that, probably rightfully so. I mean, they go, Ocarina of Time is a great game. Yeah, it was 15 years ago. But what have you done for me lately? So I had a few ideas on, you know, that's the second question, is even if they agree or disagree with me, they go, okay, smart guy, well, how would you fix Zelda? What do you do with Zelda to make it better or more entertaining? And I thought about it. Usually I blow it off and go, well, that's not my job. That's Nintendo's job. If Nintendo wants to pay me, okay. But that was waffling. That was a no answer. But I had a few ideas on how to fix Zelda. Make it an RPG. Woo! I am astounded, really, that The Legend of Zelda, one of the most famous and pervasive fantasy RPGs of all time, never had an RPG. The closest it ever got was The Adventure of Link, which had a few RPG elements, you know, like upping your fighting and magic. And you know what fans did to that? They hated it.
I love it, man. It's my favorite.
Right on, man. But, I mean, it's kind of funny that the few times the series has ever innovated were the times that fans basically rebelled against it. You know, Adventure of Link, almost nobody liked that. They're like, we want the old school Zelda, they want the top down, they want, you know, what was the other time? This is probably a bad example, but it's, the CDI games, we're not counting those.
Sauerkraut just groans.
Another idea I had was, you know, the setting is always very samey. It's always very fantasy. I thought you could go sci-fi with it. Really?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. What? A little bit. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't replace a lightsaber for a master sword. Why you couldn't have the hookshot become like a bionic commando arm. Hey, Final Fantasy did it. Right? Yeah. Final Fantasy went with 7, went to Cloud. They had motorcycles, they had guns. Before that, you never saw that crap.
Got a point.
It became a gunblade. Oh, right. I hated that. But it would have been something new. It would have been something flashy that E3 could have put over there. I mean, how lazy is it really to just re-release Ocarina of Time again? Graphic update, sure, but geez. By the way, how much of a dick move was that to have the 3DS price drop the day after, basically, Ocarina of Time shipped?
Very dick move.
Yeah? How many, did any of you guys buy Ocarina of Time and feel really, buy 3DS and Ocarina of Time on that day and feel really stupid when you, when you got home and then the news came? Yeah, you did. How else did I fix it? A movie. Why has there never been a Legend of Zelda movie?
Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, they did Super Mario, they friggin' did Tekken. They did all suck, but...
Tekken was good. You see 3D?
It really boggles my mind that one of the most famous flagship properties of Nintendo never got made into a movie. I mean, just think of how, you know, it would have really revolutionized, it would have really helped, it really helped to invigorate, oh.
It would have had to have been a silent film.
That bankrupted a company, yeah. Final Fantasy, you may not probably know this, but I've been kind of hard on Final Fantasy over the years.
Just a little.
Deserved it. Maybe so, but I actually said in one of my reviews that the series had become predictable, and in hindsight, that was really wrong. In fact, the series has kind of made a habit of reinventing itself pretty regularly. Like, basically every game, from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12. Every game is radically different, very different settings, very different combat systems. And I was like, you know, what do I do to fix Final Fantasy? Because this is a series that's really been on a downward spiral. I think even diehard fans who stuck with it through 8 and through 10 and even 10-2, who, when 12 came out, they turned on it. 12, fans were like, no. It's like an online, what? This is terrible. And, you know, 12 was, and 13, everyone turned on 13. Did anybody really like 13? Raise your hand so we can, yeah, man.
It was the best, but it was alright.
It was, okay, it was alright. No, I would disagree.
Okay.
But, I really think there's kind of a, even though the games have changed in the series, there's been always this kind of stagnation that's going on with Final Fantasy, and it's the storytelling is what really is bad about it. And so I realized you don't really need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to Final Fantasy. This is something that has kind of gotten by on predictability, or kind of there's a lot of elements that are key to Final Fantasy, but they always feel every time they invent a new combat system for 13 with the paradigms and stuff like that. It's all very complex, and they're all very proud of it, but what it really comes down to, where people really, the only problem I had with 10, with 10-2, with 12, is the storytelling. The combat system, you can like them or not like them. You could say, like, I don't like paradigms, I don't like the way 12 handled the combat. But really what draws you to Final Fantasy, what always drew you with 4 and 6, some of the most famous RPGs ever made, were the stories. The characters were awesome. All you gotta do to save Final Fantasy is find a decent fantasy author. For God's sakes, find a decent sci-fi author and write a really good story. All you gotta do is look at what Mass Effect is doing with storytelling. All you gotta do is look at what BioWare is doing with role-playing games, and that's the key word, is role-playing. When you're playing Mass Effect, when you're playing Dragon Age, when you're playing Jade Empire, you are playing basically yourself in this hero's shoes. You make choices. You make relationships with characters. You act the way you want to act. Choice. Role-playing. Character. You like Shepard because you're playing him the way you want to play him. If you want to kick a sumbitch out a window, they give you the option. That's role-playing. It's awesome. Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 10, you're playing these characters who are stilted, awkward, bitchy, douchey, whiny, annoying, and you don't want to play. You don't want to go on a journey with these guys. And Meg Ryan. You really don't want to follow these guys. You don't even want to be in the same room with them for all that long. Nobody wants to spend time with Titus. Jesus Christ.
That's his signature laugh.
But yeah, really, it all comes down to storytelling, and I don't understand why. You know, Final Fantasy 13. I'm going to do a review on this eventually, but really, where Final Fantasy 13 comes down is it's a colossal failure of basic storytelling principles. You have to read text screens. You have to do homework to understand what the hell is going on in this game. Simple aspects of introducing characters, plot exposition, and stuff like that. When you have to read a supplementary booklet to understand what's going on, They just start off with the weird terminology. They're like, we have to get to the lassie before the falsie get us. And like, you're like, I don't know, what the fuck is this that? There's a guy with a bird in his head. And I'm like, you know what really bothered me about Final Fantasy 13 was the one thing they did introduce, they established this one thing where Lightning is running around and she jumps off this thing and it's all very Matrixy. She's floating and she snaps her fingers and like time stops and she floats. And she's like, and she floats. She hits the ground. She's all posing like a badass. And I'm like, and she does it again. She like leaps from a moving train and she snaps her fingers and like this anti-gravity thing pops up. And I'm like, wow, they really established this cool technology. I wonder when we get to play with it. You don't. It never comes up. I really thought that was going to be Lightning's thing, is like having some kind of time control ability with this finger snapping tech. So they established this thing and proceed never to mention it again, ever. It's called, oh god, it really bothers me. I hate Sonic the Hedgehog.
What?
This has always been a tough one for me because the original Sonic the Hedgehog, I was a Super Nintendo guy. I'll just say it. Sonic the Hedgehog, this is going to sound really stupid to you, but it moved too goddamn fast. When I was playing Sonic, I ran into shit all the goddamn time. I'd be like, I'd run into a wall, and I'd be like, oh, stop, dead momentum. I can't run up. I'm running up a hill. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I run into a wall of spikes I never saw coming unless my reaction time is that of a 4-year-old crack addict. And like, I just never got it. I was like, if you want to play Sonic, you got to play through it slow. What? And really, the only way, like, people who play it are guys who memorize the stages and are doing like time trials, like trying to beat their best time. But you have to memorize the stage. That's not gameplay to me. It was really boring, but Sonic is one of those games that also has tried to really reinvent itself and try to move on from the 2D thing. And every single time they've tried to do it, it's been a disaster. Sonic Color, Sonic Free Riders. You know, they've done these Sonic Unleashed, Shadow the Hedgehog, where they tried to make Sonic like urban.
Fucking sword, that doesn't make any sense!
Right? I sense great rage in you. So it's kind of funny with Sonic, where it became more about memorization of the levels than skill, and every time they tried to reinvent it, it was a disaster. And what really made me mad was I went to E3, and you know what they were doing? It was basically the same thing Nintendo was doing with Legend of Zelda, was they were basically re-releasing Sonic episodes, which was essentially just a re-release of the first Sonic the Hedgehog. Really, you got that, what's that, Green Zone? The first 3 levels are like the first 3 levels of Sonic. I'm like, really, you know, this is 2011.
Hey, we're Sega, we give up. Sonic.
Yeah, they basically threw their hands up, like, I don't know what to do with Sonic. Let's just do the same thing we always did, and it was just really boring. So really, everything that has been tried, that can be tried, has been tried with Sonic. So I was like, oh, this was the hard one. So what do I do? I'll tell you what, first-person shooter. Right? They never tried that. Sonic the Shadow the Hedgehog has guns. That'd be really cool. You know what? Like, seriously, like adapted like Crisis. You know, with the Crisis thing, you had super speed, you had super fast, you had super strength. You could do that with Shadow. You could have a guy running around real fast and shooting things. It would work. Here's a funny one. I wonder if I had a picture for this. Yeah. Team-based tactical strategy. You could do this! Like XCOM. Really, if you look at the cast of characters in Sonic, every character is distinct. They've all got their own thing, like Shadow is good with guns, Sonic is really fast, Tails can use his ass to fly. You've got that girl hedgehog I never really paid much attention to, but basically, you've got... Wow. Nerds. I know. But you've got these characters with distinct abilities. I was like, do like XCOM. You ever play Jagged Alliance? Yeah. You can do this with like tactical... Okay, moving on. Halo.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Halo is another one where I've always said that Halo has not changed since the first Halo. You're buying map packs. Really? That's all you're doing. There's a few new features. There's like single-player campaign, but it's funny is the single-player campaign has always become like this vestigial appendage that nobody really cares about. Nobody ever really cared about the plot. Don't pretend like you did. It's always been about the multiplayer, and I've never had a problem with the multiplayer. It's always you cared about the plot. You were probably really touched by ODST, like or Halo Reach. You're like, oh, they're dying. It's like the Dirty Dozen. I feel so bad for those poor Spartans.
That was an awesome ending, Spoony.
It was an awesome ending, and I'd seen it several times before in movies. Oh, never mind. Seriously, to save Halo, clone Mass Effect. Yeah. I mean, you've got these characters that are set up. I mean, you could do this thing where you have like a tactical shooter, cover-based, and
Everything's better in Mass Effect.
And I hate to bring up Mass Effect again, but really, it is kind of set up for that. What else did I say here? Sorry about this. Oh, I could easily see a stealth espionage game built out of this, where you kind of like not necessarily like Metal Gear, but you have this character who's kind of like this cybernetic dude. Although he's very guns blazing, he's very armored, he's very heavy. You could easily see a character like this where you have a guy who's cybernetically modified for stealth and that kind of thing.
Cheeks.
What? Chief? Oh, I got it. I also said there's a lot of potential here for a real-time strategy, and I know they did this with Halo Wars, but I'm talking like really serious. Like, and what's funny is Microsoft seems terrified of releasing anything that's not on the Xbox. That's why you've never had a really good real-time strategy game, but really all the elements are set up for that. You could have like Covenant forces on one side, and you could have the Marine, the colonial dudes on the other, and you could have the Flood. I mean, it would basically be a direct rip off StarCraft, but who says that's a bad thing, you know? I know Halo Wars, but that was on Xbox and nobody liked it. Because you can't play a real-time strategy on a console. It doesn't work. You need a mouse.
Keyboard.
What's up, Faux Nostalgia Critic?
One thing I actually agree with Paul on this. One thing I felt was Halo's biggest problem was you can't command the Marines.
Yeah, they just kind of stand around there and get, like, the only interaction you have with them is take their gun away. Which I always thought was funny. Some guy you don't know runs up and goes, give me that shit. And you're like, take this needler with no ammo, bitch. You guys like Master Chief, you're so awesome. Oh my god. What did I say? Call of Duty.
Yes!
Oh, yeah!
I've been hearing a lot of hate for Call of Duty lately, and frankly, I don't really understand why. Is it the storyline that bothers you?
No.
It's the same game!
What?
After 4, it's the same game!
See, well, now you boo me for Halo, but now you're going Call of Duty on me. It's the same game.
Second game was the best one.
True.
What was the only thing with animation?
Well, I mean, and besides that, I think Call of Duty has evolved more than Halo because it added the most realistic part of multiplayer combat. Where I never knew that in Afghanistan the Army Rangers were strapping C4 to remote-controlled cars. That's how shit gets done down there. It's amazing. Really, it's become a Michael Bay movie. The plot. I was actually really feeling Black Ops for a long time. That was a really good game. Up until I started scuba diving down underneath Cuba, where there was a secret Soviet missile lab that had been built completely underwater. It's a Bond movie, people. It's crazy. It's really becoming Moonraker with the shots in space and all that crap. So, what's the next one? Is it Call of Duty Future Warfare or something like that?
Yeah.
You're not far off. You're really not. But how do I save Call of Duty? I could just go easily hire a better writer, but seriously, they need to. What games like Call of Duty really did was get rid of recharging health. That was a big thing back in the day when like Halo did it and Call of Duty first started doing that Medal of Honor where if you got red jam smeared on your face, all you had to do was kind of hide behind a wall and suck your thumb for 10 seconds. then you had like a Wolverine healing factor and you're like, I'm better, and then you run back out. It was kind of fun in the day when you had shields, but it doesn't really make sense. Now I'm not going to call realism on finding health packs, but they got to do something else where it's kind of silly where you can just get shot over and over and over again. And this is an instance where a guy like Tom Clancy could probably write a really cracking good story about like a Black Ops team and stuff like that. Fear.
I played the first one, I stopped.
You read my script, man. Make it scary. God damn it. First-person shooters are not scary. Especially not when you're Especially not when your enemies in a horror game are just guys. There's like this scary girl from The Ring, right? But she never fights you. It's always like just these faceless dudes. And how do you make a horror game out of that? It's not possible. And then there's robots. And now we're starting to... I really don't understand that at all. Fear 3 is the worst. Fear 3 was such a colossal... If you think shooters aren't scary now, wait till you have a cooperative partner standing nearby, helping you out. It was such a colossal blunder in every level of game design. It's always been based on jump scares, just having really loud noises leap out in front of you, and I never liked that. It's really that cheap.
Same with Dead Space.
Dead Space is a lot like that, yeah. I kind of had less of a problem with Dead Space because I'm a big whore for Warren Ellis, who kind of wrote the script for that. What was the question there?
Dead Space, you turn off the music, so you don't have that stinking lock,
Uh-huh.
and you jump up. So the actual combat is scary.
If you mute the TV... Oh, if you turn the music off, the stings don't... Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Uh-huh. That's actually not bad. What's up?
Hey, I kind of had an idea for the robots thing that could be an improvement. I'm pulling this straight from the original Portal game from the Valve series. Do any of you remember those gunner things that were further down the Portal?
Those droid turrets.
Take that really innocent looking voice and put it on those robots. It would be just really creepy. There's a little bit of fear to add to the game. There you go.
I just thought of one that I think I may have mentioned this in a previous panel, but Bioshock. Bioshock.
Oh, Spoony, I thought we went through this already.
We did. Oh, Sora, there you are. All right. If I haven't mentioned this...
I swear to God.
I'm going to pick on Bioshock again for those of you who didn't hear this again. Bioshock sucks. Holding back security.
Some person you made it had suffering from schizophrenia.
Bioshock is so... You can't lose Bioshock. It's like... If you die in Bioshock, you emerge from a phone booth 2 seconds later, 20 feet away. So, like, there's this big dude in a fucking armored suit who's got a drill in his hand. He gores you through the face. Instantaneously, you get out of the booth, and you're like, round 2. What must this drill dude be thinking? Like, how do I kill this guy? God damn it! It really becomes a Monty Python sketch after a while. I can't hear you at all, man.
I like the big kneecaps off.
Yeah, you can wear these guys down by attrition, so I always...
An hour doing it or whatever. Sure, knock yourself out.
So I always pictured, like, these cloned bodies, like, piling up. I should do a webcomic of that. What's up?
Yeah, simple way they can fix it. Make it so it's not something that just, like, makes your character regenerate. Make it so it's like a time machine, so you go back before you enter the room.
Or make it so you're diminished in some way when you get murdered. I mean, I don't know how to see it, but man, that was such a goofy thing. Yeah.
Or make it that the enemy's target phone booths.
I think they do make it cost money. There's like, I think there's, I forget, but the only way that, I saw a patch that disabled divided chambers to do that. It was really just, although you could just quick load. So there's kind of a line there of difficulty. Yeah, one more question. Who is that? You had, what, Sora.
Well, I would just say, like, you can still use the divided chambers, but just like take some of the weapons out, just like leave just the rent.
Well, if you lost your weapons on your body when you died, because you emerged from the chamber with all your weapons, which is just not fair. I felt bad for the bad guys. The other thing I really disagree with, this is something that always bothered me, especially with a lot of modern games, is the fact they always have a good evil mechanic now. With like Infamous or Prototype, or the one that always bothered me again was Bioshock. I call it baby strangling evil because the choice was either to be a good guy or a guy who literally rips the head off children. What kind of choice is that? Like seriously, they go like, if you want the atom, you have to kill this child. She is evil, and so you're like ripping their faces off and eating their brains. And I'm like, from a moral standpoint, this sucks. Who is that evil, really? And now they do give you a conundrum. They actually do make it so like you think there's a moral choice. They'd be like, well, if you kill her, you need the atom that she's harvested. You need this power that she has. And if you don't do it, you're going to be weaker. You're going to need this power. Well, guess what? If you spare the children, you get more atom. They give you gifts of atom.
You're
not supposed to know that.
You're not, but they tell you, right? Yeah, virtually after the first one, you get more Adam. In fact, I think you get more Adam if you go the good route than if you go the bad route. It's insane. You can hypnotize Big Daddies, right? I don't know what that means. Oh, the plasmid, you can hypnotize Big Daddy. So you get better effects, you get more Adam for being a good guy. And I'm like, maybe if it was like you get a quarter of the Adam, it might make it actually kind of a legitimate moral choice. Like, oh, Jesus, I feel really bad about this. I'm killing children, but I need it. But the thing is, you can't die, so who cares? You don't need to do this.
In Bioshock 2, the big sisters, they can randomly spawn.
Mm-hmm.
You try to help the little sisters, and you put them in prevent. Sometimes they'll just show up, and she'll be like, how dare you be happy? You must die.
Right.
And you decide your med kits and things to fight the guys to get the little sisters Adam she needs in a defense. So, I remember what Yahtzee said. He suggested that if
Isn't Spoony supposed to be talking? What? Isn't Spoony supposed to be talking?
Are we approaching a question here? All right. All right, I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to save... Oh, no, that's fear. That's still fear. Oh, no. I'm not a medical worker! Doesn't it, though? This is where I tell you, this is where I go hypocritical on you. Why did they change Duke Nukem? Why? God, they did everything wrong with Duke Nukem. All they had to do was make a mission pack for Duke 3D. That was a great game. I still play that game. And of course, all I talk about innovation and all that crap, Duke never had to change. Duke should not have changed. It was all about that. They gave Duke recharging health. God damn it.
It's too immature. Duke's supposed to be immature.
Then it was like really totally inconsistent with the alien breasts on the walls and like rape victims. And I'm like, this is not Duke. Why can't Duke just be like Painkiller or some game that was really just balls to the wall action? Why is that so hard? It shouldn't be hard. God damn, that game sucked. And then you top it off with the fact it took, what, like 3,000 years to finish? It was so not worth the wait, and you knew it wouldn't be. I don't get it at all. But anyway, those are the games that I thought would draw some controversy for not liking them, especially poor Sora. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for offending you. I know you love Bioshock. And I don't mind that you love these games either. It's just things that bother me. I always want to see something new, something I haven't seen before. And really when it comes to Bioshock, it's kind of funny where those are inferior games to System Shock. If you ever played it, but that's a PC game. Some of you guys have a kind of short memory when it comes to PC games. I was kind of old school back then. I was not a console gamer. I was a snob. I was a PC snob. Right? So you notice most everything I'm bringing up to save games is references to like XCOM back in the day, which I still play. By the way, I can still nitpick XCOM. You want to see it try? No, not that XCOM. Fuck that game. Not that. That's not even XCOM. I'm calling that Area 51 G-Men. I don't know what that is. But the biggest problem I always had with XCOM, the original XCOM, was the fact that these guys are like super soldiers who are psychic and stuff like that. They're cruising the world. They don't have night vision goggles. They have road flares. So like, you never want to go out at night because you can't see anything. Like Splinter Cell. Anyway, we have a few minutes left, so if you guys have any grievances you'd like to air... Oh! There's more. Okay, why don't you go ahead? I feel bad for picking on you, man.
No, that's okay. All right. No, when you said the word painkiller, it just came up to my mind. Well, what did you think of the games of Max Payne?
Max Payne. That was really one of the first games to ever really abuse bullet time for absolutely no reason. And you know what other game did that? Fear. Fear did that. I was like, why do I have bullet time? And they're like, because you're psychic and... Do you want to play a game or not?
I rented LA Noire a week ago, and I'm sorry, but when the core mechanic of your game is trying to figure out the subtle facial movements of the NPC you're talking to, and is constantly berating you for getting it wrong,
yeah.
And the other half is looking around with stupid cranksy going, well, this doesn't do anything. Well, this doesn't do anything.
I'm inclined to agree with you because there's a lot of times in LA Noire where you can tell somebody's not telling the truth, but it's either a lie or you doubt them. And so, like, I can have a piece of evidence, like, you can't prove I used that knife, and I show them the bloody knife, and of course that's not the right answer. They're like, that's not proof. But if you doubt them, they're like, oh, that's right. And so it's kind of strange. But what I do applaud LA Noire for is basically bringing back graphic adventure games, the kind of puzzle-solving elements and kind of exploration and again, role-playing. There's really not what I really wanted was in LA Noire, to save that one, the captain, the guy who's basically a direct ripoff from Dudley from LA Confidential. It's like, would you ever shoot an unarmed man in the back, son? That guy keeps telling you, like, well, you should beat suspects, you should beat answers out of them, but you're never given an option to do that. You can never be a bad cop. I always wanted to be that guy who would rough up a dude in an interrogation room, slam him, beat him up with a phone book so there's no bruises showing. That would have been awesome!
Yes, it would have.
Magnot? Oh, jeez, these guys. Yeah, you had your hand up for a while.
My main thing is games that, like, show you doing something in the cutscene or say you have it, but won't let you do it in the game, like you said. For example, Mass Effect 2, great game, but like the mission where you find the collector ship, you're coming out, you're running away, and you're like, oh my god, the weapons are powered, please get away. And you're like, wait a minute, I bought the big guns that work, and I bought the armor to stop. Like, I've got an idea, guys. Why don't we turn around and blow a few fucking holes in their ship and shoot them down right now? Like,
that's a big problem with a lot of Japanese RPGs, and again, Final Fantasy 13, where the characters do these awesome things. They're like grinding on big cables, and they're doing backflips. And Metal Gear Solid also does this. Have you ever watched Metal Gear Solid? I love Guns of the Patriots, but it does this thing where Raiden is like strapping swords to his feet and like roundhouse kicking these giant robots in half. And I'm like, why can't I do this in the game? Damn it! Now, Snake does have the great advantage of being able to literally pull a railgun out of his ass. You switch weapons, he's like, Otacon. Why do I have infinite ammo? I'm wearing a bandana. You've had your hand up forever.
We're talking about stagnation. I think the main Mario franchise is that.
Mario is the whore of gaming. They slapped Mario on everything. But I can't say Mario is stagnant. They do new things with Mario all the time. I'm just tired of seeing him. He really is that guy who... He's the trademark. He's the guy all the kids know. So if they want to sell a game, they slap Mario in it. It's about all I got with Mario. Yes, sir?
What are your thoughts on Knights of the Old Republic series?
Knights of the Old Republic series would be great if they ever finished it. That's really the bottom line with that. Even this, what is it, the second one, Sith Lords was the second one? It was basically half done, basically to meet a deadline. But I don't know if BioWare takes that. Was that BioWare did that? Probably. I don't know if they ever take that seriously, because there was actually a lot of great stuff. For instance, I played through that whole game one time not knowing that you could basically turn any other companions into Jedi. I didn't know that. Really? So I played it. Yeah, really. I'm a dumbass. What can I say? But I played it again, so I could turn that guy, Aiden, yeah, whatever that guy, to a Jedi. Just goes to way in the back, green shirt. Yeah, you, yellow shirt, whatever. Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's what actually I really love the Devil May Cry series and Bayonetta, which was kind of a really. Bayonetta is one of those games where I look at it and I go, "What the hell? That's a weird game." She wears her own hair. That's nasty. Yeah, she sucks lollipops, but it's so crazy. It's so J crazy that I love it. Yeah, over there, black shirt, black hoodie.
Ever played Amnesia before?
I did. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it?
I think it's one of those great games where. It really, the storytelling and atmosphere. I really love games that set up atmosphere instead of scares. And Amnesia and Penumbra do that in a way that no other games for a long time have done. Yeah, Amnesia is one of those games where not only can you not fight the enemies, you can't even look at them. Because you'll die of a heart attack. It's really fun. funny that way. I love those games, and they're really cheap. So if you want a scary game that's not at all like Resident Evil, which I wouldn't even classify as horror anymore, it's very run and gun. One of the best games for this, and I always say this is one of my, probably, if I have a top 5 list, this is probably number 1 or number 2, Eternal Darkness.
Yeah!
And it's one of those games that, nobody talks about this game. I have no idea why they never made a second one. It is one of the best horror games of all time. That game screws with you, man.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill? Well, that was the one that really replaced Resident Evil for me, was Silent Hill. But anyway, I'm rambling. Over there, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say about Eternal Darkness. I work at 1UP Games, and that's like the #1 GameCube game I get requested for.
Really?
It's Eternal Darkness. It's a $40 game, man. It's pretty expensive.
Even now for GameCube, it's a $40 game. I don't think you can get it on Virtual Console either. It's weird.
No, it's the only way to play it.
If you've never played that game, find it. For God's sake, find it.
It's hard, though, to find.
It's worth it. It's worth the effort tracking it down.
And, Resident Evil.
What about it?
Recent ones.
Yeah, they exist. You want me to save Resident Evil?
No.
No?
Don't save that. Save Silent Hill.
Save Silent Hill.
Ever since they moved over to the new team in America with Homecoming, they've kind of ditched the scary thing. Well, at least with Homecoming.
Honestly, I don't have a problem with Silent Hill. I didn't like Homecoming, but that was because that became more of a combat game than kind of a scary one. I've always liked Silent Hill. I liked. Here's one where you want. Like, I liked The Room. Yeah. Not the movie The Room. The movie The Room. Oh, hi everybody. Hi, Mark. Over there, back. Yeah, blue shirt. Yeah, you.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to. I hope you don't mind if I change up. You were going for video games you like to change.
Huh?
Do you have any sentiments about role-playing games or tabletop you like to change?
This is where I get obscure, and a lot of you guys won't know what I'm talking about. Do you ever play Deadlands? Wow, no, okay. Deadlands had this really cool mechanic where you would flip cards to generate your character, and they went away from that. As for 4th edition, I think really 4th edition got fixed with Essentials. I really like what Essentials did with it, where they really simplified and streamlined and made combat faster. You don't have like a deck of cards you're always choosing from for every combat. You really overthink combat. It needs to go faster. And that's always the big thing, is especially now, I love playing RPGs, but I never have time. So it's really hard to get 5-6 people together on the same schedule in front of a table to play a game that takes 6 hours. Having that kind of a window in your schedule, anyone's schedule today, it's really hard. So if I think there was anything I'd like them to change, is to try to make it way more accessible online. Virtual tabletops online, which is something they always promised with 4th edition, but never delivered. They're still trying. I know there's like a beta phase tabletop thing, and they're never getting it to work right. They really need to work on that to get tabletop gaming on online. Whatever, and try to get that as fast and efficient as possible. Oh, geez. Way back there. Yeah.
2 quick things. One, what would you do to fix villains in video games?
Villains.
Yeah, like make them actually threatening instead of just a bunch of claws with an army.
It's a good story writer.
Villains. I tell you one problem I have a problem with, and I hate to go back to Final Fantasy. It's all I seem to ever talk about. Final Fantasy has this problem with villains who want to destroy the world because they say there's too much suffering. People are suffering all over. So if I destroy existence, nobody will suffer. What kind of sense does that make?
I think Ultimecia from Final Fantasy VIII broke that mold when she was trying to recreate the world in her own image using time compression magic.
Time compression, don't get me started.
That fits it.
I don't know. You'd have to give me a concrete example of a particular game where a villain was really badly motivated. The problem with villains...
series, where you are the villain, but that's just the whole point. You're being... It doesn't tell you what the fuck to do with it. Like, you can go and kill a few people and maybe dominate them with a spell, but you can't, like, go order them to build, like, a fucking army and just attack, like, a peaceful village or shit like that. And why are you doing this? What profit's there?
Yeah, another one that Fable's always weird with the morality mechanic. This isn't talking about villains necessarily, but there's no consequence, good or evil, really. It's just a different power set. There's no role playing, like even Infamous, where you have a choice between kind of a paragon or evil. If you're going one, you got to go balls deep into one. There's no point in going sometimes good, sometimes evil. Otherwise, you just get neutrality and you get no special powers. If you go all the way good, you get really good stuff. If you go all the way evil, you get the really good stuff. But there's no back and forth, which is why even Catherine, I really like Catherine a lot because
I love that game.
because it's not even really a good evil mechanic. It's just kind of cheating.
It's a moral choice mechanic.
Yeah, it's a moral choice mechanic. Center of the aisle. Well, yeah.
What do you think the comparison between Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia?
They're both the same stuff.
There's not really much of a comparison.
I remember someone
Because the climbing mechanic?
Assassin's Creed was a knockoff of Prince of Persia, but Assassin's Creed is so much better.
I disagree with the fact it's a knockoff. What's funny is I really hated the first Assassin's Creed. I found it really repetitive. We're time's up. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I hope I've at least inspired you to make better games or demand better games from people. And by the way, don't think too badly of me because I'm harsh on Zelda. Like I said, it's a great game. I don't mind if you like it. I just kind of wish that sometimes fans would demand more. The fact that you guys just kind of took Ocarina of Time one more time, I was like, you're not tired of this yet? Even a little bit? Even Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, kind of the same game. God. Go sci-fi, go RPG, do turn-based, man. You can do that. I don't know. Thanks, guys.